There you go. All right, class, I am not here on Wednesday, but I wanted to take a moment to show you what you're doing. You're going to have three papers where you're doing three different things. They all have to do with rate of change and initial value. The first one we're going to do is we find the slope of each line given a graph. As we've done in the past, we're going to basically find two lattice points and count the rise and the slope and the run. What is slope? Rise over run. So without further ado, here we go. 1, 2, that was my run. My rise is up 1, so my slope or rate of change is 1 over 2. The second one, I like starting at the leftmost point. You can go any direction you want, but I like starting at the leftmost point. I count my run, 1, 2, and then down, 1, 2. I went down 2, so negative 2 over 2 is a negative 1. Now, I said you start at the leftmost point and go over and down. But in reality, you can go any direction you want. I can start at the leftmost point, and I can go down first, which would have been a negative 2, and that was my rise, and then over 2. Still, I get the same thing. Or, actually, I could, if I really wanted to, start at the right, the point on the right, and go up 2, and then over 2. So if I went up 2 and then left 2, that would be a negative, which still gets me a negative 1. Or I can start that point and I can go left 2 and then up 2. But regardless, I'm going to get the same thing, which is a negative 1. So that's finding slope that way. Let's look at the next one. We're going to find the slope through a set of ordered pairs, or two sets of ordered pairs. And the only way to do this one is to use our slope formula, which is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. If you still don't feel comfortable with this, then you can label your values x1, y1, x2, y2. And if that helps you, then plug it in. Negative 15 minus negative 16 over negative 7 minus 19. Remember, minus and negative becomes a positive, so this ends up being 1 over negative 26. Negative 1/26. The second one, I got negative 19 minus a negative 7 over 1 minus a negative 2. Remember, minus and negative becomes plus. Now my signs are opposite. Negative 19 plus 7 is a negative 12. 1 plus 2 is 3, so that's a negative 4. We've done a lot of those, but there's two examples for you. And the last set of problems that you will have will be, again, finding the rate of change, but this time, look, my computer's thinking. This time it'll be in equation form. So let's see if my computer can stop thinking for just a second. Do 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 do. It's still thinking. Let me pause for a second here. There we go. I got it figured out now. So I'm going to do two of the problems. Look, if in the first 5 or 6 problems, if you need help finding the slope given something's in slope-intercept form, we got a real problem anyhow. But once they get into standard form like this here, my first period class yesterday, I gave them a gift, which was m equals negative a over b, and the y-intercept is c over b. That may be a refresher for those of you. If not, we can always do just like our video that we watched yesterday. We can get y alone. Once we get that y alone, we'll be able to see our slope really easy. So that's the actual method I'm going to use today. So I want to get my y alone. So I'm going to start by subtracting 8x from both sides. So I have 3y equals a negative 8x minus 9. Divide by 3 because that's multiplication. We undo multiplication by division. So I'm left up with y equals, now 3 doesn't go into 8 evenly, so I can just leave it a negative 8/3 x. And 3 goes into 9 3 times. And a negative divided by positive is a negative. So the question here is, what is my slope? And there it is, right there. Same thing for number 8. I'm going to get y alone, so I'm going to subtract 4x from both sides. So I have 5y equals negative 4x minus 10. Divide by 5, divide by 5, y equals, now 5 doesn't go into 4 evenly, so I just leave it a fraction. See, fractions are good. And then negative 10 divided by 5 is a negative 2. Again, my slope is right, also known as the y-intercept. So there you have it. Those are the 3 things that we tried to do, or that you're going to be asked to do in your practice problems today. So good luck with those, and I hope that everybody has a great day.